Good day. Here are the stories for the Manila Times for Monday, July 11, 2022. To help the country's transition towards normalcy, Go Negosyo founder Jose Maria Joey Concepcion III and the Advisory Council of Experts or ACE have drawn up a list of recommendations that they will submit to President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. His sentiments were shared by the ACE, which is composed of some of the country's foremost authorities on public health, molecular biology, disaster resilience, data insight and analysis, and economics, which reiterated the importance of the government to prepare a pandemic exit strategy. In the panel are former National Task Force Against COVID-19 Special Advisor Dr. Teddy Herbosa, COVID-19 Technical Working Group Chairwoman Dr. Nina Gloriani, Vaccine Expert Panel Member Dr. Ron Jean Solante, Infectious Diseases Expert Dr. Benjamin Ko, Philippine College of Physicians President Dr. Maricar Lempin, Health Reform Advocate Dr. Tony Lechon, Octa Research Fellows Dr. Michael T., Professor Ranjit Rai, Dr. Guido David, and Father Nick Austriaco, Economist Romy Bernardo, and Go Negosyo Senior Advisor Josephine Romero. The list of Concepcion, the former Presidential Advisor for Entrepreneurship, and ACE includes suggestions such as an alert level plan similar to the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council's color-coded system. The traffic light system uses colors to denote the different stages of readiness, their corresponding prerequisite metrics using healthcare utilization rate or HCUR, and average daily attack rate or ADAR, and mask rules for each region. President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr.'s condition continues to improve and continues to work in isolation, giving out directives to members of his cabinet, Malacanang said on Sunday. The chief executive, who tested positive of COVID-19 in an antigen test Friday, July 8, as he experienced mild fevers, nasal stuffiness, nasal itchiness, and mild occasional non-productive cough, underwent a confirmatory RT-PCR test and was confirmed to have been infected by the coronavirus disease a second time. He first contracted the virus at the height of the pandemic in 2020. In a statement, Press Secretary Rose Beatrix Trixie Cruz Angeles assured Marcos Jr. is in the comfort of his home and is now only exhibiting mild symptoms. No fever, no loss of taste and smell sensation, Cruz Angeles said, quoting Marcos Jr.'s lead physician, Dr. Samuel Zacate. The Coordinating Council of Private Education Associations of the Philippines, or KUWTT, said private education must be considered not as a commodity but as an investment for the future of children. Guesting at the pilot episode of SMNI News Weekly Current Affairs show Business and Politics, Joseph Noel Estrada, Executive Director of KUWTT, told the Manila Times Chairman and CEO Dante Clink Ang II, parents and students alike should be more accountable for the education of their children. Estrada said that the country's private schools had been struggling because of the COVID-19 pandemic, with around 400 schools having zero enrollment and more students transferring to public schools. He said education must not be predicated on a single system that only favors public schools. The Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, or TESDA, plans to add more foreign language training courses to improve the competitive edge of Filipino workers locally and abroad. The proposed languages include Arabic, Mandarin, Korean, Italian, and French. TESDA Officer in Charge Deputy Director General Rosana Ordaneta said the new courses will boost the offerings of the National Skills Language Center, or NLSC. The center already has courses on English proficiency for customer service workers, Japanese language and culture, Japanese language and culture level 2, and Spanish language for different vocations. In 2021, the NLSC produced 1,148 graduates, 508 of which finished English proficiency for customer service workers, 450 in Japanese language and culture, and 190 in Spanish language for different vocations. Funds for the 2019 Southeast Asian Games totaling over 159 million were unliquidated as of the end of 2021 based on an audit report by the Commission on Audit, or COA. The Philippines hosted the 2019 Games and emerged the champion. The COA's report on the Philippine Sports Commission, or PSC, for 2021 noted that 159,929,194.74 of the unliquidated amount were for the preparations for the event and the hosting itself. 17,627.51 were for the purchase of 400 Min ANSI looms, multimedia projector, and 15 4GB digital voice recorders. 9,765,000 of the 159,956,587.25 went to the training of 14 athletes from the Philippine Judo Federation in Tokyo, Japan. The report also showed detailed unliquidated fund transfers to PhysGOC, or Philippine Southeast Asian Games Organizing Committee, 10 National Sports Association or NSAs, and the Philippine Olympic Committee or POC. PhysGOC's unsettled amount dropped to 811,362,476.83 after it made liquidations and refunds by December 31, 2021. 218,208.13 matured into disallowance and was issued the Notice of Disallowance or ND on February 22, 2022, the report read. The audit of the accounts of 10 NSAs amounting to 15,279,569.04 were suspended on September 6, 2021 and already matured into disallowance, it added. Sticking to sports, Filipino pug Mark Magsayo could not defend his World Boxing Council or WBC featherweight belt, losing to Mexican Ray Vargas via split decision at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas on Sunday, Philippine time. Two judges scored 115-112 each for Vargas, while only one judge had Magsayo winning at 113-112. Magsayo's failure to defend his belt meant that the Philippines was left with no world champion anymore. This is after Rene Cuarto and Donito Donaire Jr. recently also lost their International Boxing Federation or IBF World Minimum Weight and WBC Bantamweight belts respectively. Defending his belt for the first time, Magsayo managed to slightly control the first two rounds before the more efficient Vargas dictated the pace. Topping business, the country's current deficit or CAD is anticipated to widen this year due to rising commodity prices and import demand, MUFG Bank Limited and Fitch Solutions said. The latest available data, which showed that the net energy trade shortfall grew to $7.8 billion between January and April from $3.3 billion during the same period last year. These were cited by Japan's largest bank to support its view that the current account will be pulled down by a bigger trade gap. Rigoberto Tiglao and Father Rangelio Aquino are today's front-page columnists as they both discuss the issues surrounding online news website Rappler and its chief, Maria Ressa. Today's editorial discusses the ties between the Philippines and China under the Marcos administration. Read the full version of the paper's opinion section or listen to the voice of the Times. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram and keep up with the times. For the Manila Times, this is Paulo Dimapi.
Our longest trusted English newspaper since 1898. Now available digitally. Computer. Order the Manila Times Digital Edition. Subscribed. Get the Manila Times Digital Edition for less than 2 pesos and 50 centavos per day when you sign up for 1 year. The Manila Times, news source of choice, trusted since 1898.